How to solve linear equations. First step, if any terms don't have a sign, put a plus. Next step, work left to right, only x's can live on the left hand side of the equals, and terms that are numbers only go on the right. So the 3x comes straight down, it stays on the left. The 7 does not have an x in it, so it goes to the right. The rule is anything that crosses this imaginary red line, if it's a positive it goes to a negative, and if it's a negative it goes to a positive. If it doesn't cross that line, then it stays as is. So the 7 came across, it crossed the line, the positive went to a negative. The positive 12 stays on the right because it doesn't have an x, so it stays a positive. Simplify that. Negative 7 plus 12 is 5. The last step is divide by the number in front of the x. 5 divided by 3 is the same as 1 2/3. This one here, terms that don't have a sign, put a plus. Work left to right, only x's can be over here, and terms without an x, that is numbers only, go there. So the 2x comes straight down. The 7 goes across, becomes a negative because it crossed this line. The positive 5x has to go on this side because it's got an x in it. It crossed our line where the equals are. The positive changes to a negative. The negative 20 stays on the right hand side. Simplify that. 2 minus 5 is negative 3. So we have negative 3x. Negative 7 minus 20 is negative 27. Last step, divide this number here by the number in front of the x. How many times does 3 go into 27? 9 times. When you're dividing and you have two negatives, the answer is positive. This one here we do the same way. Put the equal sign. Make sure our equal signs always go straight down the page. If they haven't got a sign, put a positive. Write down the 4x, it goes on the left. The positive 9 goes on the right, it's now a negative, it crossed over here. The 5x stays a positive because it didn't cross the line where our equals are. The negative 7x has to go to this side, it becomes a positive. Lastly, the positive 8 stays here. Right, we simplify that. We have 4x plus 5x plus 7x. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 and 7 is 16x. Negative 9 plus 8 is negative 1. Divide by the number in front of x and we have negative 1 over 16. We're moving on to harder ones now with brackets. The first step is to expand the bracket. 2 times 3 is 6. So we have 6x. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Equals 12. Now we're back over here. Write our equal sign again. Make sure it goes straight below. Terms without a sign. Put a positive. Only x's are allowed to be on the left. Numbers only go on the right. So we have 6x equals 10, or positive 10, plus 12. The 10 came across. It changed from a negative to a positive. The 12 stayed on the right. 10 plus 12 is 22. We get our 22, we divide it by 6. How many 6's are there in 22? There are 3 and there's 4 remainder, which is the same as 3 and 2/3. Right, next one. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8x. Negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32. Negative 7 times negative 4 is positive 28. Negative 7 times positive 1 is negative 7. And plus 8. We do not multiply the 7 by the 8 because the 8 was not in the brackets. Right, terms with x's go on the left, terms that are numbers only go on the right. Negative 8 minus 28 is negative 36x. Negative 32 minus 7 is negative 39. Add 1 and we've got negative 31. Divide by the number in front of the x and we have negative 31 over negative 36. When dividing, if we have two negatives, the answer is positive, and 31 over 36 does not simplify.